I like music. I like listening to music. Everyone likes listening to music. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna list some music. This is it. There's 200 bands here. Supposedly, this is a rock band tier list. It's a tier list of 200 plus rock bands, except one of them's it's like One Direction, man. And I mean, there's some, you know, it's a mishmash a bit. It's just bands. Let's just call it that. Let's just call it bands. It's a band tier list. We're ranking bands. So greatest of all time, amazing, great, good, decent, overrated, somewhat tolerable, bad, the absolute worst, and I don't know them. So let's do it. 200 bands. 200 band tier list. Not off to a great start. Not off to a great start. The 1975. They're bad. I don't think I can name a single 1975 song that I actually enjoy. I'm not a fan of Matty Healy's voice. I'm not a fan of like the whole entire vibe, you know? They're overrated, but at the same time they're so bad that I can't even put them in overrated because it would bring their score up, you know? I just don't fucking like them at all. But their fans suck. They suck. I've heard so much better like pop rock and like psychedelic pop, and it's just so much better. I've heard so much better than the 1975. They're overexposed. They're just fucking not good. Bad. Third Eye Blind. They did the fucking. I wish you would step back from that ledge, my friend. Third Eye Blind is decent. Third Eye Blind is pretty fucking decent. They have some bangers. All their songs kinda sound the same, but that, like, formula that they have down isn't bad. AC/DC. Talk about making one song and then just repeating that for the rest of your history. They've got that down. They've been doing that for about 1 billion years now. AC/DC is overrated. AC/DC is overrated as fuck. You can only listen to so many AC/DC songs in a row. AJR. I used to like AJR. I think I still somewhat do. They're like a little guilty pleasure-ish. But they make a lot of schlock. And I hate their shtick that they're just like 3 brothers making music in their living room. We're just all doing it. We're just doing it by hand. We don't have a label. Something happened. Something's weird with them. They're like fucking. I feel like they're Nepo babies, right? AJR's gotta be Nepo babies. AJR's going in bad. AJR is bad. Every single one of their songs sounds the same. It's just fucking goofy. They're just really dorky. And I hate their like soft boy stick thing. They're like 40 years old. They just gotta cut that out. Like take the fucking hat off. Arctic Monkeys. If we pretend like the last 2 albums never happened, they are great. I like the Arctic Monkeys a lot. Maybe even amazing. Arctic Monkeys are pretty fucking good. I'll put Arctic Monkeys in great. I love their earlier albums, like the first 2 or 3, but I was not a big fan of Hotel Basin Casino. Is that the one? And I haven't even listened to the sequel to it. What is the name of the album? The Car. All their early stuff is pretty good. I have a lot of Arctic Monkeys on my playlist, but the last 2 albums just did not capture my attention. They did not speak to me. Maybe I need to revisit them, but those last 2 weren't for me. But obviously, I mean, along with everyone's opinion, early Arctic Monkeys is fucking great. It's solid. The Beatles, they're alright, greatest of all time. They have some shit. The Beatles have some shit, do not get me wrong. But of how good the like great songs are, you can't really beat the Beatles. The Beatles are pretty fucking amazing. I mean, there will never be another band like them, that will sound like them, that will capture the same energy as them. It just will not happen. The Beatles are some of the greatest of all time. Beck. I do love me some Beck. I think I gotta put Beck in amazing. I think I have to put Beck at amazing. If you've ever listened to Beck, I hope you understand where I'm coming from here. But he can do every genre. The dude just doesn't miss. Like, every album is a different genre. He's like teaming up with Cage the Elephant, and he's doing like techno albums, and then he's doing albums with fucking spoons. Like, it's crazy what Beck is capable of. Just worlds apart. Bon Jovi. Bon Jovi was so instrumental in my upbringing. I listened to Bon Jovi so much. I had the Slippery When Wet VHS tape that was like the live performances and the music videos or whatever. And then I had the cassette tape too. Bon Jovi's great. Bon Jovi is a great songwriter, singer, just that voice, so good. Bon Jovi's so good. David Bowie. My cat's named after him, which is one of the greatest of all time. Greatest of all time. Bowie is just so fucking iconic. I named my cat. I don't have to explain it more. I named my cat after David Bowie. I named the first pet I ever got to, like, name for my own, and I named him Bowie. That's... I don't need to elaborate on it anymore. I fucking love David Bowie's music. Cage the Elephant. Cage the Elephant might be greatest of all time in my opinion. Genuinely. I fucking love Cage the Elephant. I mean, obviously they have the Borderlands song. They have the Borderlands song. They did the song for Borderlands. It doesn't get better than that. But if you go through Cage the Elephant's discography, it's fucking insane how good it is. My mom my mom had their first CD ever. That's the one that has No Rest for the Wicked. That's how good they are. Their first fucking album has No Rest for the Wicked on it. Besides that, like, the first album is just packed. Like, I skip over No Rest for the Wicked sometimes because of how good that first album is. And just on top of that, like, they just keep getting better. They just released like a new song, Neon Pill. It's fucking great. It's so good. And they won a Grammy for Cold, Cold, Cold. I don't know. Cage the Elephant is fucking greatest of all time for me. I hope that's not a hot take. And I don't really give a shit if it is a hot take. Because the more I think about it, the more I realize I fucking love Cage the Elephant. Disturbed. Fucking absolute worst. I do not like Disturbed. I fucking hate their cover of The Sound of Silence. It just, like, completely misses the point of The Sound of Silence. Like, it's just so, it's overproduced butt rock. Fall Out Boy. Fall Out Boy is pretty great. Fall Out Boy's pretty great. Post-hiatus, their output can be debated, but pre-hiatus Fall Out Boy was to be reckoned with. Fucking iconic song after iconic song. Folie à Deux is one of my favorite albums ever. Just so, it's pretty great. I like So Much for Stardust, too. Their last albums before that, like Mania and, American Psycho. American Psycho has actually grown on me because of how much I hated Mania. But Fall Out Boy in general, they're great. Their early stuff definitely bumps them up from just good. Fun. Talk about a band who just, like, gave up way too early. I'm gonna put Fun in greatest of all time. If you've ever listened to Fun, like, listen to their albums back to back. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic work. Like, some of the most heartbreaking songs, some of the most interesting wordplay. It's just so good. It's so good. Fun is, like, an absolutely hands down fantastic band. But they made, like, 2 or 3 albums. And then now they're done. And fucking the guitar player is making Taylor Swift albums now. Nate Ruess hasn't been heard from in 1,000 years. Like the Avatar. Just when the world needed them the most, they disappeared. It's kind of fucked up how Fun just ditched us like that. Imagine Dragons. Imagine dragging these nuts across your face. Bad. The Killers. The day you find out the Killers are Mormon, the day every one of their songs starts to make a little more sense. The Killers, I don't know. I used to really enjoy the Killers, but I think I just gotta put them down in good. The Killers are just kind of good. They're not mind-blowing. They used to be mind-blowing to me. Now they're just not. It's kind of sad. It's kind of sad just putting the Killers in good, because I think at one time I would have put them in amazing. It's not even like any of their new songs have made me put them down in good. It's just like the more... Like, I fucking hate When You Were Young and Indie Rock and Roll. God, that fucking indie rock and roll song by them is just so obnoxious. And I'm not a big fan of them doing the fake British accent when they sing. It's kind of annoying. And I also don't understand why they scrapped all of Hot Fuzz after listening to, Is This It? Because it's not like they made Hot Fuzz sound anything like Is This It. Led Zeppelin, overrated. Led Zeppelin's overrated. More tolerable than Greta Van Fleet, but not by much. Maroon 5, somewhat tolerable. No, I'm moving down to bad. Because they have like 5 songs and they haven't made... Where did we leave off? Matchbox 20? Oof, that's a blast from the past. Matchbox 20. They have some bangers. Push.
Said I don't know if I've ever been good enough.
Let's see. I'll put Matchbox 20 in somewhat tolerable. Stick him right next to the Lumineers. My Chemical Romance. How do I properly describe my obsession with My Chemical Romance? This is Jesus. Jesus, but like Jesus. Gerard Way as Jesus. In a framed photograph on my wall. I have, deep in my closet, I have the Black Parade jacket. And I have the Danger Days jacket, like Gerard's Danger Days jacket, the blue one, with Dead Pegasus on it. I was obsessed with My Chemical Romance. I'm gonna put MCR in Greatest of All Time. I'm gonna put MCR in Greatest of All Time. I don't think this is gonna be a very popular opinion. I put My Chemical Romance in the same in the same bracket as the Beatles. But in my heart of hearts, I feel like this is right. I can't do my boys wrong like that. The Monkeys. Hey, we're the Monkeys, and we're just a monkeying around. Where do the Monkeys go? They're just like, I don't know. Have you guys heard I'm Gonna Buy Me a Dog? That's a pretty fucking funny song. I kind of like the Monkeys. I kind of like them. I mean, obviously they aren't groundbreaking, but for like a goofy little riff on like the Beatles and the Beach Boys, I'll put the Monkeys in good. I'll put the Monkeys in good. And if you disagree with me, listen to I'm Gonna Buy Me a Dog.
Boop, shabop, bop, ram-a-lam, I'm gonna buy me a dog.
It's just such a fucking funny song. Nickelback. I'm gonna catch heat for this, and that's okay. Nickelback's pretty good. I'll move them down to decent. They have a formula. It works. I think we all need to stop pretending that we don't like Nickelback, because the whole point of Nickelback is they make songs that like somehow like an algorithm everyone likes. So we need to just stop pretending that we don't like Nickelback, and we just need to be upfront that like Nickelback makes music for everyone. Everyone enjoys Nickelback. Panic at the Disco. If we don't count Panic at the Disco's last 2 albums, they're good. If we count all of them, every single album, I do not understand the draw that those last 2 albums had. Honestly, the fan base is kind of fucking intolerable. I had to leave the subreddit when I was even a teenager because I was just like, you guys are fucking ridiculous. It just felt like a circle jerk, to be honest. I hate that Brendan Urie is revered as a god, and I also hate that the Hey Look Ma, I Made It video completely just like it makes it look like Brendan did it all by himself, all alone. If you watch the video, it's just his puppet. He doesn't have a puppet for like Spencer or Ryan or Dallin or the other guy, John. Like, they didn't have puppets. There was just a Brendan puppet, and the Brendan puppet made it all by himself. Hey look ma, I made it. And look how many people I took advantage of along the way. I fucking hate Brendan Urie as a person the older I grow. He's just he gives me the ick so much. He can't write a song for shit. That's why he needs 12 fucking writers. Had to kick every single member out of the band so that he could have complete creative control. I don't know. Panic at the Disco is so overrated. I used to love them. It like pains me to put them in overrated, but you can't fucking kill your brand as badly as Brendan Urie did and expect people to like respect you or your music. He's a talented singer. Holy shit, he can play every instrument. That's insane. That's so cool. Can he write a song? Can he just like write poetry? Because it doesn't seem like he can. End of All Things was like the last good song. He put all of his creative fucking juice into that song, and then I had nowhere else to go from there. Like, how are you gonna be so toxic that you're gonna drive away, like, the lyricists of your band? A singer is fucking worthless if you can't write a song. When Panic at the Disco turned into a solo act, it's just like, it lost, like, such an important part of what makes music fucking music. Smash Mouth. Smash Mouth is good. Smash Mouth is good. I won't lie. I mean, obviously they're like Shrek rock or whatever, but they're not bad. They have good songs. They have heaters. They have heaters, for sure. The Smiths. The absolute fucking worst. I hate the Smiths. I hate the Smiths with a deep, burning passion. Just like, shut the fuck up. I hate Morrissey. I want to strangle Morrissey to death. Just like, what an obnoxious, fucking pretentious, fucking whiny asshole. I hate his voice. I have never heard a worse voice in my entire life. I hate the Smiths. I fucking hate the Smiths. Every song is just about getting your fucking heart broken. Just like sad fucking whiny shit. Talk about something else. Oh my god, the world's ending. My wife left me. The earth's burning. Cool, dude, shut the fuck up. The Strokes. Greatest of all time. Again, I'm a white guy in my early 20s. I think legally I'm required to put the Strokes in greatest of all time. Like, no contest. Listen to the Strokes. Just go listen to the Strokes. Is This It? Room on Fire? Angles? Come Down Machine? First Impressions of Earth is really good too. Underrated, to be honest. Come Down Machine is severely underrated. One Way Trigger is one of the most beautiful songs of all time, and same thing with 80s Come Down Machine. Welcome to Japan is just a fun song in general. Call It Fate, Call It Karma is really good too, obviously. And then The New Abnormal sounds nothing like their earlier work, but I think only improves upon it. Might be my second favorite. Yeah, it's my second favorite Strokes album. Talking Heads. Greatest of all time. One of the greatest of all time. Again, as a white guy in my early 20s, I think I have to put Talking Heads there. I think I have to. Legally obligated. The Velvet Underground. Amazing. I don't need to allow. It's Lou Reed. Weezer. Greatest of all time. The White Stripes. Greatest of all time. I fucking love the White Stripes. Like, there's so many great memories associated with the White Stripes. I mean, if you ever watched like PBS Kids as a kid in like 2000, early 2000s, you know the song like We're Gonna Be Friends. I have all of their albums on vinyl. I have all their albums downloaded on Spotify. They're one of my favorite bands ever. Daft Punk, one of the greatest of all time. I wouldn't consider them a rock band, obviously. I don't even know if I'd really consider them a band. But there's no denying Daft Punk's chokehold on the music industry for 50,000 years. It seems like they were around forever. It kind of feels like your parents getting divorced when they announced that they were breaking up. You're like, whoa, where the fuck did this come from? I thought everything was cool. The Voids. The Voids is the Strokes, like, experimental version. I mean, the Strokes are one of the greatest of all times, don't get me wrong. I like the Voids. I think they're decent. They might be a little too new. It might not be for me in its entirety, but I think they have some good songs. I think this is it. This is the entire tier list. Over 200 bands. Over 200 bands were tiered in this list. 200 bands. Over 200 bands. And most of them are in Don't Know. And One Direction is in Somewhat Tolerable. People are gonna have a fucking fit.